All right, what's going on, my friends? Fifth quarter, where the Blazers tonight with an improbable come-from-behind victory over the Wizards, 124 to 116. And I got to give a lot of credit to the team tonight because they were dead on arrival in D.C. They came out in the first half. They got down big early, trailed by as much as 20 points. Their defense was a disaster. They weren't making shots. They looked out of sorts, and they trailed by 18 going into halftime. So it's frustrating because they're not making shots, they're not playing good defense, and they're just getting hammered by the Wizards' size. And they were getting a ton of easy buckets in the first half, as you may have noticed. But we saw something take place in the second half that was special. And it was a combination of a lot of different guys stepping up to make game-winning plays. But it was Anthony Simons who really sparked the Trailblazers when he ignited their offense there in the third with his incredible shot making. Anthony Simons tonight finished with a team-high 33 points. He scored 20 of those 33 in the third quarter. He was 6 of 7 from downtown. Ant on the night finished 11 of 19 from the field, 9 of 12 from three. So Ant was sensational. Now, going into the game, we knew Nurk was going to be out. He's got the calf issue, the calf strain. He's going to be out until after the All-Star break. And that's the latest report from the team. Gary Payton II, Mr. Reliable, missed the game tonight with a illness. So they were shorthanded once again, which meant Chauncey was going to need the starters to step up, but then he was going to have to look for other guys. In the win over Memphis, he got quality play from Payton II, from Watford, and from Drew Eubanks. But tonight, the key guy off the bench was Trendon Watford. The bench had 26 points. He scored 21 of those 26, and he finished with 5 assists. Now, Trendon Watford is never going to get the attention that he probably deserves for a game like this, but make no mistake about it, his playmaking, his timely decision-making, his energy, the hustle, it led to a number of game-changing type plays. Now, the Blazers were down big, as I mentioned. They clawed back in the third quarter when they went on that 39-25 run. And then they took the lead for the very first time there with about 7:41 to play in the fourth. Josh Hart hit a three. They took the lead. Bradley Beal came back and put down a shot and gave them the lead back. But then after that, Ant hit a three, and it gave Portland the lead for good. And they ran away there at the end of the fourth quarter. 73 points scored by the Blazers in the second half. But I also give them credit because they mixed up their defense in that second half. They used a lot of zone. They threw some different looks, and what they were able to do with their effort and their energy in the defense was get Washington off their spots and out of sorts a bit that allowed them to really make that comeback, that nice run. But it was a great effort. As I mentioned, Simons with a game-high 33, 21 points, 5 assists for Trendon Watford. Great effort tonight from Josh Hart. He played nearly 40 minutes, 21 points, 9 rebounds, had a couple of assists. Jeremy Grant with 10 points, 8 boards, and 3 assists. A decent all-around game for him. Eubanks played 17 minutes, scored 5 points, recorded 4 rebounds, and a relatively quiet night from Dame, 29 points and 6 assists, but an efficient game, 9 of 20 from the floor. But that's what you have to get a comeback like that, is have a bunch of different guys step up. So I ask you, what did you see tonight? What did you make of the key turnarounds there in the second half that led to a Trailblazers victory with Watford and Ant and the different combinations they threw at the Wizards defensively? What did you make of that comeback and that effort? 5 points from Shaedon Sharpe off the bench. The Blazers now with back-to-back road wins, and they will finish up this little 3-game road trip, which is in Chicago tomorrow against the Bulls. That game will tip off at 5. We'll have game day starting at 2:30. But impressive. And very surprising because the first half was ugly. I didn't think they would have the energy there in the second half to be able to pull something like this off, but they did. The energy was there. The playmaking was there. The effort was there, and you had multiple guys step up to get it done. For the Wizards tonight, they had a few guys who were able to step up and play well. Kristaps Porzingis, 32 points, 8 boards. They got 34 from Bradley Beal. Kyle Kuzma finished with 12, but most of their damage was done in that first half. Telephone number here on the fifth quarter is 0620. You can find me on Twitter at Chad and Rip City. At Chad and Rip City. If you want to join us on the YouTube live stream, it's up right now. You can see what it looks like inside the studio with Chris and I. Just go to youtube.com, pull up the homepage, Rip City Radio, and you will see the live link right there. So join us right now, either on 620 or, of course, through the YouTube live stream, which is up and going. My man Burkhardt is here. Chris, a surprising come-from-behind win tonight. Watford had a big night, 21 points, 5 assists, but man, that Anthony Simons hot shooting in the third quarter is what really got things going in the right direction. 6 of 7 from 3, 20 of his 33 in the quarter. That was nice.
Yes, it was, and he was starting to get the catch and shoot going. And once he sees one fall, watch out, because he gets hot quickly, and he did it in the third quarter there. It was a good outpouring from him, and as you said, Trenton Watford deserves a ton of credit tonight, especially with Drew Eubanks getting in foul trouble. No use of Nurkic. He was wonderful.
All right, let's take a listen to Trendon, who was on the floor with Brooke Olzendam after the game.
18 at the break. You guys never gave up. What was the biggest difference in the second half?
Just coming out. We know we started the first quarter pretty bad and dug ourselves a hole. So we just wanted to come out in the second half and be who we are and fight back. And that's what's special about this team. We never give up.
And how does it feel to have the best NBA game of your career and play a huge role in this win?
It feels good. I'm just glad we got the win. And, my job as a professional is just always stay ready and, just always keep working. And I'm just glad we got the win.
What has been the key for you to staying ready? Because you looked great out there tonight.
Just approaching every day like I'm going to get in every day. Like, you never know what a day might bring. Sadly, Nurk went down and, I'm next man up. And, that's my job as a professional, stay ready and be who I am. And, I think tonight showed that.
The play that really sealed the deal tonight, your steal to Anthony. What was that moment like?
That was big. I almost thought I lost it. I thought I turned it over, but, when I stole it, I looked back there and he was already on the run. So that was big.
T-Dub, congrats. I'm so happy for you.
Appreciate it.
All right, there you go. Trenton Watford after the game, 21 points and 5 assists. NBA rosters, the way they're put together, you need a combination of everything. You got to have your star players, like, the Blazers have their high-level players like Dame, Ant, and Jeremy Grant. You've got to have your middle-of-the-road guys like Josh Hart. Yusuf Nurkic would fit in that category. And then you also need your guys at the bottom of the roster. You need those dogs, so to speak, who are fighting, scratching, and clawing for their NBA lives, who, like Watford just said, stay ready and can come in and will give you that hustle, that energy, that fight that can help spark a victory like this tonight. And the Blazers have a few guys like that. Watford would be one. I think Drew Eubanks would be another. Guys who they have to go out and be ready to play and be ready and play hard and be engaged and provide that energy because they're being called upon and they're fighting for their NBA lives. You got to have a balance of that on your roster. You need your star-level players, your solid veterans who are well-paid but not superstar level, and then you need guys like Watford who can come in and scrap and fight. Now, for the Blazers who were shorthanded tonight, they needed a total team effort to be able to get it done, and Watford played a key role in that. But most impressively, I think, was not just the hot shooting. I mean, you can make shots and hit a bunch of threes, and the Blazers did, but you got to be able to get stops to overcome a big deficit, and their defense was much better there in the second half. The Blazers tonight on offense, when they got it going, they finished the night just under 50%. They were 48.9% from the field, a sparkling 17 of 41 from three-point range. And that's what you need, 21 of 23 at the line. So good balance tonight for the Blazers, and they hung in there. Not a massive advantage in rebounding. Wizards just +3. The Blazers playing obviously undersized tonight with Nurk out of the lineup, but they really stormed back, outscored the Wizards 39-25 in the third and 34-22 in the fourth. Back-to-back road wins, Burkhardt. It's been a long time coming. Back-to-back road wins. They have a chance to make it 3 straight tomorrow in Chicago. A winning road trip.
Yeah. Well, crazy, right? You like it, though. And I know that, I tweeted about it in the moment. And when you get down on this team, you got to also be fair and kind of get up when they deserve it. I am tired. I want to go take a nap every time I see this team get down by 20 points in the first quarter. It's nauseating. Even before this game, I think it was the Memphis game, I told you, I said, you know what, Chad? If they just started the game automatically before tip, they just started the Blazers down 20 zip, we'd be getting good basketball from that point on. Just skip it, right? So they did it again tonight. But this team does deserve credit because what have they done almost every single time they've got down? They've clawed back. And even in the games they haven't won because they ran out of energy late, so that was our big gripe, right? Well, they ran out of energy because they wasted so much of it clawing back. I do like that this team does not roll over. They do claw back. Now, they still have got to find a way to get better starts. These starts are ridiculous. There are going to be far more games where you claw back from 20 down and don't make it. It's just nice that they happen to do it. The last 2 games come back from early deficits.
Yeah, these slow starts, I put it on the coaches. I put it on the players. The part that's troubling to me is that you got a team that's struggling. You got a team that needs wins right now. And to see them repeatedly get down by double digits early in the game, there's really no excuse for it. You just got to come out as players. They're pros, so you don't need the coaches to go around and be like, hey, guys, let's get ready to go now. Let's get ready to go. You don't need that type of nonsense. They're pros. They're professionals. They don't need someone to encourage them. They should show up, be ready to play, especially when you know that you're shorthanded and you're going to have to go out there and play with a certain level of energy and execution to get it done. So the slow starts are killer. Fortunately, tonight they're able to finish, but the biggest issue for the Blazers during this stretch where they haven't played good basketball has been slow starts and poor finishes. And it's hard to be a winning team or be consistent when you have those type of issues.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting, too, and you watched it in this game, too, the last few games with Nurk out, when this team makes runs, and it's done it all year long, they look good offensively when they go small and play Jeremy at the 5.
Yeah.
Like, they look really good, so a little more tinkering to the lineup that can be done there. But, yeah, when you go down early, any team can get down by 20 in the NBA, right? It happens quite often.
Yeah.
But when it happens, what feels like almost every single game, it's a trend at this point that has to be bucked.
All right, we'll come back on fifth quarter, take your calls, and continue to react to the come from behind victory tonight. Blazers over the Wizards, 124-116, down 18 at the half. They trail by as much as 20, but they come back and get it done. You got the fifth quarter on your home of the Blazers, 620 Rip City Radio.
It's time for the Portland Trailblazers Drive of the Night here on the fifth quarter, hosted by Chad Dewing, 620 Rip City Radio. Drive of the Night is brought to you by Dick's Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Wilsonville, ready to compete with the lowest prices in town.
Now to Porzingis, looks for a cutting. Beal to the rim, missed it. Might have been deflected by Simons. Now here come the Blazers back the other way. Here's Hart, slips through to the rim, lays it in. Timeout Wizards. Blazers with their first two-possession lead of the game.
There's Travis Demers, who was on the call tonight here on 620 Rip City Radio. Blazers record a 124-116 come-from-behind victory over the Washington Wizards. They have a chance to make it 3 straight on this 3-game road trip tomorrow in Chicago. Tip-off at 5, game day at 2:30 here on 620 Rip City Radio. The star of the night, of course, Anthony Simons, who finished with 33 points, scoring 20 of those in the third on 6 of 7 from three-point range. Let's go out to the biggest Ant fan of them all, Victor in Turkey. Victor, you got to love what you saw tonight with Ant.
Hi, my brother. I can't believe it. I feel I'm walking on the cloud. Well, I mean, I want to ask you something. I'm a senior, my later senior age. I don't know how much longer I can call you a radio, but I want to ask you something personal. If I don't call you,
hey, wait a second.
Something happened to me.
Hold on for a second. What do you mean if you may not be able to call because you're a senior in age? What does that mean? You getting sick? What's up?
I have a medical. I had medical condition for some times, and I mean, there are a lot of things I can say. But what I'm saying is, I'm an older guy. I mean, I don't want to say my age, but what I'm saying is, and I had a medical issues, but I appreciate you let me just come on the phone, But what I'm saying is, what I want to ask you is, I'm sure you remember me in some time that when Ant played like this, but what I'm saying in the future, I don't know. It depends, I don't know what will happen. But if I don't call you, don't think that I didn't like your show. But what I'm saying is, maybe you remember me because I hope the Ant stay with Blazer. That's my wish. But he's going to be the next star, like Damian. He's going to be the next after Damian. But and if you have this conversation, with other people and with Ant, maybe you remember me. That's what I'm saying. Maybe you can put my name in your cell phone, or I send you a text message, something like that.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do right now, Victor, because I love you and I don't want you to go anywhere. You're always welcome to call, and hopefully your health will put you in a position to be able to do that. So I'm going to plug your number into my cell phone right now, and I'm going to send you a text message so you have my number, okay? Does that sound like a plan?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I will. And also, I think I have your Twitter. Your Twitter is, I forgot.
At Chad and Rip City.
Yeah. I will do that if I don't have a chance to call you. But my friend, I was going to say is the Ant did it today, and I never gave up on him. The Wizards, they win 6 in a row, and I couldn't. I mean, maybe somebody didn't believe it, but I did the same thing. I did a long time ago with with the last point guard we had. I forgot his name. What was the last one before Damian? I did it with him when the Blazers were down, and I went kind of a little bit of kind of a concentration or whatever it is. And I turned off my radio and TV, everything, I said, well, I'm not going to look at the game because if they're 20 behind, they're not going to win. So I went out shopping, did everything, but in my heart, I said, well, I feel good. Maybe something happened, I feel really good, but I don't have to watch the game. So I came back, the same thing happened, It's the last game, the same thing. So I did kind of a little bit of voodoo, and it worked. And believe me, Chad, if they get another, like Vanderbilt, another player like Vanderbilt they were talking about, if they get one of those guys, this team has really, we can beat, the big games, like big guys, like Milwaukee, but they need a couple of more big players, tall players. And Chad, there was another play from New York. They said that there is a 6'9" wing player. The coach Thibodeau, he want to give him up for free, but he's looking for two future picks. That was 3 weeks ago from the website SB Nation. He's 6'9" from New York.
Yeah, they got a couple of guys. They've got a couple of guys who are being rumored in trades right now, mostly involving Emmanuel Quickly and Obi Toppin.
How about that Vanderbilt they were talking?
Oh yeah, Vanderbilt. Where was the report? Oh, let me play this for you. This is from Shams Charania, who covers the NBA. This is what he had to say about the Blazers and Vanderbilt. Take a listen.
The Portland Trailblazers have emerged as a strong suitor for Utah Jazz forward Jared Vanderbilt. Sources tell me Portland is among a few teams showing interest in Vanderbilt, who appears increasingly likely to be dealt ahead of the February 9th NBA trade deadline. Vanderbilt is averaging 8.5 points, 7.8 rebounds, and nearly 3 assists a game in 24 minutes per night for the Jazz in his 5th NBA season, and he was among the pieces that Utah acquired in the Rudy Gobert trade.
All right, there you go. So we know that the Blazers are linked to Vanderbilt. I know Dame's a big fan of his, and that's a player that would be nice because he's like 6'8", about 220 length, and he's a defender. So he would be a nice guy to add to the roster for sure.
Chad, what do you think? If the Blazers, a couple of more players, you mean they can be a contender?
Well, what do you mean by contender? You mean like a legitimate championship contender?
Well, if they win the next game, and also they suppose they win 2 more games. I mean, the total of 5 games in a row, then they are up. As you said, there are not much difference. You told me between the 4th seed or the 10th seed, there are not much difference, right?
Yeah. So I think what you want to do, if the Blazers, it's going to take, I would say, a couple of players. If you could upgrade the small forward spot, we know Josh Hart's going to go. So if you could add Vanderbilt, let's say, and he could become a starting wing next to Grant. And if they were somehow able to move Nurk and upgrade their center position, then I think it's a team that would have a chance to compete with some of the other playoff teams in the Western Conference. But I want you to do me a favor, Victor. Do this. I sent you a text message, so check your phone, and now you've got my number. Text me back so that I know that you got it, okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Love you.
Love you. There you go. There's Victor in Turkey. What's up with that, man? Victor dropping a bomb on us. He didn't want to say his age, but he's getting older and health not what it used to be. I don't like hearing that.
No, not at all. But I do like it, even if his health is bad. He's like, just think of me anytime you think of Ant. Like, we do. We already do. We will forever, no matter what.
All right. I love it, too. I saw in the chat. So Christy, who is a terrific artist, painter, she's the one that made the Trailblazer pinwheel for me over here in the corner that you can see. She logged into the YouTube chat, and she goes, hey, I see my painting. That's right, Christy. We got it up there in the corner. I like that. I like it a lot.
That is great. I wish I had the power to, control the camera like what the old TV studios I'd zoom in for her, but still, it's a great piece of art. It looks even better in person. YouTube doesn't do it justice.
If you go to her website, and she does a lot of sports-type paintings, paintandglory.bigcartel.com. Paintandglory.bigcartel.com. That's Christy. She's on Twitter @gloryofchristy, CRISTI. And she does a heck of a job. Let's go out and talk with our man Dan in Southeast. Dan, welcome to the 5th quarter, buddy. What's going on?
Well, this is Rip City to Dan Southeast. Rip City to Dan Southeast. You come in. Yeah, this is Dan in Southeast. I have reached outer orbit, and I am over the freaking moon over this win. Over the moon. And you may be asking yourself, gosh, isn't Dan in Southeast overreacting a little bit to a win over a fairly mediocre Wizards team? Yes, I am, and let me tell you why. I saw so much positive stuff in this game tonight, Chad. The Blazers played with so much confidence. You called it, and so did Travis. The switching on defense clearly had an impact, and it wasn't just that they pulled it off. It looked so smooth. It looked natural. It looked like, I mean, it's one game, but for 48 or honestly 24 glorious minutes, it really looked like a switch had been flipped and a light had gone on. It was outstanding. By the way, the Wizards had 0 free throws in the 4th quarter. if you can pull that off with the size deficiency we had against Porzingis, that's just outstanding. As far as Trendon Watford, when dudes come off the bench and have a good game, we're fond of saying stuff like, oh, yeah, have a excuse. He gave us a big lift. That was a major contribution from so-and-so. This was not that. Nurk out. GP2 out. Eubanks in foul trouble. Naz not making an impact. It's not uncommon to get a contribution off the bench, a big contribution. It's pretty uncommon to say if Trendon Watford doesn't have that game, I don't think we win this game. His play was outstanding, and he's earning a place in the rotation. It's awesome to see, and played so well. I've said it before, like he needs to play that well for this team to become any kind of a factor. When he plays well, it's fine. Like that's his floor. When he plays great, it opens up things everywhere. I love the fact that Josh Hart was 1 for 5 from 3. I'll take the 1. Just give me the 5. We've talked about that before. That opens up things as well. And then finally, as far as the Wizards, Chad, I watch a lot of hoops, and everybody idolizes David Stern, and I totally understand why and agree. But everybody dogs Adam Silver, and you can criticize decisions that he's made. But I'm always like, look at the league. The league's outstanding. It didn't used to be like this. Like it was not all that long ago that there were a half a dozen to a dozen teams. You're like, yeah, I don't really need to see their version of basketball. Even last year, the list of teams, I'm interested. I'm like, who's playing that's got dudes I want to see? Either superstars or rookies that are carving out a place in the league. Who's got guys that, raise an eyebrow, get you out of your seat? And last year, the only teams that weren't were like Orlando and Washington and maybe Sacramento. And this year, Sacramento's scoring in buckets, and Orlando's got Paolo and all of that. And the Wizards are the only team that's not fun to watch. And I was really hoping tonight that they would bring it and show some energy and fight and show me something different. And it's still like Bradley Beal's very good. Porzingis is very good. But I'm like, it's down to you, Washington. So my message is step it up, Wizards. And to everybody else, Rip City. See ya.
There you go. Great phone call. I appreciate that. All right, 503-248-0620. We'll come back on fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt and Chad doing with you. We'll step into the coach's corner here from Billups after the Blazers 124-116 come from Brian victory over the Wizards. Don't forget tomorrow, back-to-back games. They're in Chicago to take on the Bulls. That tip-off's at 5, and we'll have game day starting at 2:30 here on 620 Rip City Radio.
It's time for the Nothing But Net Shot of the Night here on the fifth quarter, 620 Rip City Radio. The Nothing But Net Shot of the Night is brought to you by Oregon Dungeness Crab. Sustainably harvested, uniquely delicious, and always wild. Oregon Dungeness Crab always sounds good for dinner.
Dame to the wing. Now he drives, gives it to the corner. Sharp now to Hart. He's wide open. 3 for the lead. Buries it. Josh Hart gives the Blazers their first lead of the game. 102-101.
All right, telephone number 503-248-0620, where the Trailblazers take out the Wizards tonight in impressive come-from-behind fashion, 124-116. Boy, that's a strange game. I was very bitter in the first half, and then I was very happy in the second half. And one of those ultimate roller coaster type games where you're like, what, this is the best they got? So you're going to follow up the road win at Memphis with a stinker like this. And then they come out and just white-hot Anthony Simons in the third quarter, putting a charge to the team, and they just storm back and take the win. And their defense kept the Wizards off balance and got them out of sorts, and the rest is history. Blazers get the victory. Let's go out to Ken in Vancouver. Ken, welcome to the show. What's up?
Hey, awesome game, Chad. I mean, it didn't start out that way, but when you play that hard in the second half and you're playing for each other, and it's just fantastic. Can I first say, hey, Vic, we will never, ever forget you, man. You're a part of this Rip City fan base, man. We always got you, brother. So you try to stay well, and I hope somehow, some way in the next couple years, good things will happen, and you just hang in there, buddy.
I appreciate that. We love Vic, man. He's awesome.
He sure is, and hopefully, good things for him. I'd like to just say, I mean, like you said, it was really, the first half, they couldn't make any shots. They hurried themselves a few too many times. Just nothing was going right. But
the
when
defense
they came
was
out,
terrible.
Yes, it was. It was the full meal deal of crap. But I think, though, the thing was, is I thought, if they come out and in the third quarter, Dame did enough in the first half at least to keep granted 18 is awful, but it's better than 30. So at least that was enough. And then the thing I love is that Dame, when he sees Ant on a heater, he will milk it till there's no tomorrow. And I love it. It was like, be patient. Let's get you open. Let him allow him to run around and get open and open and open. And, I think a leader, that's where true leadership comes through, is when you see your teammates doing so well. And then also Trendon Watford. I mean, what I thought tonight, and I'm sure you saw this, Chad, is their ball movement was fantastic. I mean, Dame would get like the first pass, but then it would be Trendon. Trendon would have a better pass over to another guy. It was almost like the hockey assist tonight, where you had multiple cases where a good pass was made, but then a better pass was made for an easier shot at the hoop. And I thought that was key, and it really broke down Washington and their morale. And Nas, I know, his shot was flat tonight, very flat. There was no arc on it, but he had a key block in this game that was huge, and he was running to rebounds, running around on defense. Nas did things that don't show up on the stat sheet tonight, and I was really proud of him. And, hey, we got a Josh Hart scoring night, which was good to see. So, hey, bravo, Blazers. Win, way to go. Get one tomorrow.
All right, you got it, man. Appreciate it, Kenny. Let's go out to Battleground, my neck of the woods. Let's go out to Chuck Rogers in BG. Chuck, what's up? Welcome to the fifth quarter.
Hey, this is my first time calling you, but I'm going to let you know something. Bill Shonley, they had him on about 10 years after he retired, and he sat down there and he started broadcasting the Blazers just like if it would have been 10 years earlier. And I thought that was pretty good.
That is pretty good. Did you grow up with Sean's, Chuck?
Yes, well, kind of. Yeah, I did.
That's good. Yeah, he
well,
was.
I mean, I moved back home here in 1982, so I've been following the Blazers ever since.
That's terrific. I live in Salmon Creek, so I'm not too far from your area out there in Battleground, Chuck.
Well, I live on 187th, so.
Oh, nice. We're not far apart. I went to high school close by. I went to Prairie High School.
You went to Prairie High School. Have you ever been in Battleground?
Yeah. I lived in Battleground for a bit. So, yeah, I've spent a lot of time out there. I got friends out there.
Okay, the reason why I'm asking that, do you remember where the old library used to be?
Yes, I do.
On the main street and Parkway?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay. Do you remember where there used to be a long building along Main Street?
Uh-huh. I know which one you're talking about.
Okay. The east end of that building was my classroom.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, I went, I used to go to Tiger Cage basketball camp when I was younger out at Battleground High School. And on Friday mornings, when I was a senior in high school, on Fridays, my buddy and I would go out to a hamburger headquarters right there off Main Street in Battleground because they had all-you-can-eat pancakes for 99 cents, and we'd do that before school.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. It was amazing.
Oh, yeah. Now, I got another question for you there, Chad.
Yeah, what you got?
Whatever happened to the gentleman who used to have Mark or Mike or whatever his name is, took his place?
Are you talking about Jay Allen?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay Allen moved up to Bellingham. His wife got a chance to open her practice up there, and he is up there closer to his mom and dad, his family. So they moved during the summertime up to Bellingham. So that's where he's at now.
Oh, because I thought to myself, I always enjoyed him on the program, too. And I thought to myself, what in the world happened to him this year? Because I thought I was going to listen to him, and I'm listening to Mike or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Mike
But
Lynch.
anyway,
Well, I tell you what.
I'm glad he's out somewhere with his family, and that's good.
That is a good thing. Well, Chuck, I got to tell you what, thank you for calling in, and you're welcome to call anytime, my friend.
Oh, I'll do that.
All right. There you go. There's Chuck Rogers in Battleground checking in. In fact, speaking of the Shawns, Burkhart pointed out that some of you may have seen it. If not, the Wizards actually paid tribute to the Shawns tonight at Capital One Arena.
We'll have the starting lineups in just a moment, but we want to send it down courtside.
At this time, the Washington Wizards would like to take a moment to remember and honor the life of Bill Schonely. Bill was the founding broadcaster for the Portland Trail Blazers. He served as the team's play-by-play announcer for nearly 30 years and called more than 25,000 games. Please join us in a moment of silence as we honor Bill Schonely.
That's pretty awesome, Burkhart. Classy move by the Wizards to pay tribute to Bill Schonely.
Yeah, it really was. I'm glad they played it on the radio so we could hear it. Now they've gone on the road for a few games. I hadn't heard that before, so I don't know if there's been some other teams that have done that. But when a team like the Blazers loses someone so integral to the story that is the Blazers, for other teams to pay tribute to that on the road is a big-time move. It's a real classy act and shows you the impact that Sean's not only had in Rip City, but on basketball as a whole.
That's right. Nice work. Appreciate that, Washington. All right, we'll come back on fifth quarter, and we got to hear from Coach Billups. We'll step into the coach's corner. Blazers get a big road win tonight, 124-116. They're down by 18 at halftime, and they come all the way back and just bull rush the Wizards there in that second half. Huge third quarter, 73 points in the second half. Blazers get the win.
It's time for the Coach's Corner with Chauncey Billups on Blazers Game Day, presented by Henderson & Daughter. Henderson & Daughter has been supplying superior design service, quality windows, entry doors, patio doors, and window installation to the Portland and Southwest Washington area since 1977. Before you decide to just replace your current windows or exterior doors, have our designers present you with a free in-home design consultation and estimate to show you the different styles we carry that can give your home a fresh new look. Henderson & Daughter, your window and door experts.
All right, we'll go back to the phones here in a moment, but let's check in with Coach Billups after the Blazers come from behind 124-116 victory over the Wizards in D.C.
You know, I hate that we continue to do that. You know, we talk about these good starts, but for some reason, you know, our team is just so much better when our backs are against the wall. You know, I've been on teams like that before, so I understand it. But it's a dangerous place to live, you know. I came in at halftime and I just told them this I don't recognize us. This is not us. You know, we don't lay down. Like, that's not what we do. We don't give way and don't show any resistance, you know. We're down 18 and it's a long game left. You know, let's just keep chipping away, but more importantly, we gotta compete on the defensive end. You know, I'm not worried about shots. Obviously, we come out and Ant really got going, and Dame was right there, and then T. Watt, you know, was incredible, you know, in his minutes. So it was a fun second half.
Yeah. So Ant gets going there in the third quarter. What did you see from him? Was it just him just doing what he does, kind of get shots where he runs plays for him?
Yeah, we ran plays for him. You know, we started off the third quarter kind of running this play. And he came off and got a couple looks, and then Dame and Josh and those guys, they all just did a really good job of continuing to keep the ball in his hands. And then when he slowed down a little or got tired, boom, Dame hit a few shots, you know. So I just thought, you know, he set the tone for us in that second half, and we really kind of just hopped on Ant's back.
Trendon in the second, you already mentioned him, but I mean, he had a really good game in Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Stats didn't necessarily show it. This game, against superb game, stats do show it. What are you getting out of Trendon right now, and how much has he grown this last
You know, I pointed him out in the locker room. I'm so proud of Trendon. You know, he fell out of the rotation, you know, and just stayed positive. You know, worked his behind off. Him and Mark, or Coach Mark, putting extra work in, just to try to stay in shape for whenever his next opportunity came. And in this league, your opportunity is that you're always going to get that opportunity. You know? So you can't worry about when you're not in it. You got to worry about when you're next going to be in it. And he did a great job of that, and he's just continuing to get better and better. You know, and I'm just so proud of him, man. You know, he's such a good basketball player.
What are some of the things that he gave you, particularly in that second half?
Well, his playmaking. His playmaking. When he gets in the middle, when Dame or Ant gets hot and they start to show them extra body, you're getting it to Trendon in the pocket. And he's just a playmaker, you know, whether he's scoring with his floater tonight or he's finding guys cutting behind the defense. You feel comfortable when the ball is in his hands, you know. And then I thought he got some tough rebounds, too. You know, he was in some tough situations. We played switching defense. He was guarding a lot of guards. So I just thought he impacted the game everywhere.
I thought Josh tonight, particularly in the fourth quarter as well, you know, he struggled a little bit offensively, I would say, but he really gave you something, particularly in the fourth.
He really did, man. Josh, I just love when he's aggressive. You know, when he's aggressive and he's looking for opportunities out there, he plays well. You know, and we know that he's going to give us rebounds, and we know that he's going to give us defensive effort and prowess every night. But offensively, you know, he's a little up and down, and I think when he's aggressive, you know, he makes us better.
The fifth quarter poster play of the night is brought to you by Collection Connection, the leaders in framing sports memorabilia, team awards, and so much more. Collection Connection offers you a one-stop, full-service framing experience. Find them online at COLLCONN.com.
In the game, Morris from the baseline. Trying to get it into somebody. He finally does, but it's tipped and stolen. Watford's got it in the front court to Ant. Ant on the drive, and he hammers it down with two hands. Timeout, Wizards. Blazers lead at 120 to 111. Simons has got 33.
All right, let's go back out to the phones. Let's go to Rhodey in Newburgh. Rhodey, welcome to the show. What you got?
Hey, good evening, Chad. Great win.
Yeah, that was a great win. Great win, great come from behind victory, and I love the play in the second half.
Yeah, I'm starting to think these slow starts are almost a blessing because I don't know if they got the personnel, especially with the disadvantage of the height and the length, to play a full game at this point. So, it didn't look good at halftime. But I think they need to be socked a few times, and then they have to adjust to what team they're playing because, let's face it, like you said many times, we just don't have the height and length to just start right out and get what we need to do. But a lot of those shots at the first of the game, they were good shots. They just weren't going in. But they were way too easy baskets for the Wizards. So remember, this team had won 6 games in a row, too, so Washington just wasn't going to lay down no matter how we started. So I thought overall the effort was really good, of course, the second half. And you could see just a tinge of daylight there at the end of the first half where there was a chance that they could still pull this thing out.
Well, you make a good point about the offense. They were getting good looks in the first half, and that's why I'm glad that they stayed aggressive there in the third quarter. And then I felt like when some of those shots started to fall, it really helped, pick up their legs on the defense, and then they got the Wizards out of sorts and were able to continue on from there. But that's why I love the victory so much, because you get down, you're down by 20, you're going up against a team that's, got a height advantage in multiple spots, and yet they had the effort and the energy to continue to fight and scrap and put themselves in a position to win the game and got, key performances from some unlikely characters like Watford. I like those type of wins, a team win.
Absolutely, not Watford. I think he's going to get better and better the more time he gets on the court, too, Chad. That's about all I got, but it was a great win. And on to Chicago tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, on to Chicago, buddy. Rhodey, I appreciate it. There's Rhodey in Newburgh. Scrappy win for the Blazers tonight, 124 to 116. All right, let's get you up to date around the association, courtesy of A&A.
The fifth quarter on 620 Rip City Radio presents the Scoreboard Report, brought to you by the Stadium Sports Bar and Grill, A&A's ultimate venue for sports fans every Monday night, featuring beer and wing specials and more.
All right, still one game in action right now. Fourth quarter in Utah Jazz, trailing the Hawks 98-83. Trae Young has 23 points. Finals from earlier today, Pistons over the Hornets in Detroit, 118 to 112. Ivy with 24 points, 7 assists. In Indiana, the Pacers over the Kings, 107-104. Buddy Hield, 21 points and 10 rebounds. Trailblazers over the Wizards, 124 to 116. Anthony Simons scored 20 of his team-high 33 in the third quarter. The Suns over the Celtics in Boston, 106-94. Chris Paul, 15 points, 6 boards, 8 assists. Raptors, 117. Rockets, 111 down in Houston. Van Vliet with 32 points. The Magic over the Timberwolves in Minnesota, 127 to 120. Anthony had 20 points, 8 boards, 6 assists. And the 76ers over the Spurs in San Antonio, 137 to 125. Joel Embiid with 33 points and 10 rebounds. And that is your scoreboard report, courtesy of A&A. Let's go out to Ben in Portland. Ben, welcome to the fifth quarter. What you got?
Hey, Chad. This is the first time I've ever called you over the phone.
Well, I appreciate
and I wanted
that.
to talk about. Well, heck, if I remember correctly, when I was a kid, I think I was 17. I was on a show with you.
Well, I love it. What was this at another station in town? I take it.
No, it might have been a different station, but I think it was before the Blazers played the Lakers. I was 17, and it was like April 8th, and it was for my birthday or something.
That's awesome. So so thanks for making me feel old. I appreciate that. So what do you do? Are you done with school now, or what's up with you, Ben?
Oh, that was 11 years ago or something.
All right. Well, good.
But
okay.
I mean, now I'm done with school, but I'm still following the Blazers, and I just wanted to talk about how I don't understand why the the Blazers would even consider trading Shaedon Sharpe. He sells jersey like hotcakes. He has the package to be like a Vince Carter, Brandon Roy, and as somebody who is a Brandon Roy stan to the core, like I just couldn't countenance like trading away the farm for like the golden calf in, you know, let's say Kevin Durant, who he's still a hooper, but he's old. He's not going to give you like all the games anymore.
Well, let me give you the report. Let me tell you the report that came out. I think this is via Brian Windhorst of ESPN. Here's what he had to say in regards to the Trailblazers with the deadline coming up next week. He said, from all the folks I'm talking to in the league, Portland is absolutely in a buying mode. They are attempting to add pieces. I've heard them attached to some role-playing bench players they're interested in. If Anunoby became available, I think they would be very interested. You would probably start an offer there with Shaedon Sharpe, their lottery pick that they got out of Kentucky. Sharpe is considered one of the most promising rookies of the current class and has considerable value around the league. Well, that's the report from Windhorst. I got to be honest with you, based on everything I've heard, Ben, I don't think the Trailblazers are intent on trading Shaedon Sharpe. Now, with that said, there are no such thing as a sacred cow, as my grandpa would tell me. So if the right player came along that they thought could put them over the top, I don't think that would prevent them from dealing Sharpe, but I would be shocked if they traded Shaedon Sharpe. I don't think that's in their plans. I think they want him to be a part of the future.
I mean, the other thing is you look around the league, I don't see the right player that could, you know, attract maybe Jason Tatum, maybe that, but I would never even suspect that. It's in the words of Bricktop from Snatch by Guy Ritchie, I don't care if he's Muhammad, I'm Hard, Bruce Lee. You know, you can't change out Shaedon. You cannot trade this guy. Even if he is like, you know, 5 years down the line, that's when he's going to really come into his own. That's perfect money-wise for the Portland Trailblazers because, like, they've got Dame's contract going all the way through 2027. Immediately once Dame's contract ends, you give Shaedon the bag if he turns out to be as good as he is.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to trade him. I really don't. I think if there's the one player I know will be moved before the deadline will be Josh Hart. If they look to make a bigger move, it'll likely involve Hart and Yusuf Nurkic, but I don't expect Sharpe to go anywhere. Ant's not going to go anywhere. Obviously, Dame's not, and their main focus for the offseason will be to re-sign Jeremy Grant. So, no, I don't think that Shaedon Sharpe's going anywhere.
I see this all the time where it's like where people online especially on the subreddit are just like, I'll trade Shaedon Sharpe for OG Anunoby. I'm like, I wouldn't even. No, that's not a start. If you're looking to trade for OG Anunoby or even Jared Vanderbilt, I think, you know, Mike Richmond from Locked On Blazers or Danny Meringue and Braden Sprague, they kind of all lay out like how it should be a 3-team deal where like it's somebody else's picks while you're trading the players so that they can trade the picks to, you know, Toronto or to, you know, Danny Ainge in Utah. God help us all there. Just to make the deal get done, and then we'll get the player. But you know, you cannot trade this young guy. I just see it all the time online, and it just about makes me want to like hit my head into my steering wheel.
I know. I'm just telling you, Ben. They're not going to trade him, so you can relax. They're not trading Shaedon Sharpe. It's not happening.
I'm gonna relax now, but it gets me riled up whenever I see things online. I should probably stop doing it.
Well, you won't because you're a Blazer fan, and the curiosity about the trade deadline is going to overtake you. But just remember that the likelihood of Sharpe getting dealt is very slim to none.
That's all right. Well, if you have the inside line, I'll take it.
No, the likely guy is Hart. He's almost a guaranteed to get dealt, and then they're looking to trade Nurk. I don't know if they can make that happen, but no, they're not going to trade Sharpe. They're not.
Do you think they'll like probably use Keon Johnson, Greg Brown III, probably maybe Justice Winslow to make the money work? I feel like.
Yeah, those guys they're just filler. They're filler guys that can be used to get a deal done. But the main two pieces they would look to deal, Hart and Nurk.
Well, that does about that just about does it for me. That friggin', Ooh.
No, you can relax, man. Shane's not going anywhere, Ben. And hey, feel free to call in anytime you want. I appreciate that.
No worries. I could talk about Blazers with you until the end of time. I think ever since I was a kid, it was like, Scottie Pippen was like my favorite Blazer of all time, which sounds terrible now as an adult. But then it was Brandon Roy, and
Well, why does that sound terrible, man? Scottie Pippen was a pimp. There's nothing wrong with that. Love Scottie.
I gotta love Scottie.
I still can't believe Scottie wore a Trailblazer uniform. That's amazing to me.
I know, right? I will say this about Damian Lillard right now. I think that he's probably going to be like your Diego Valeri when he gets the chip. Like I very much believe that the Blazers are going to do whatever they can to get the right pieces without selling the farm, but they're not going to they're not going to sweat it if they don't win it while Damian Lillard is the man. They're probably looking at the idea that Damian goes to become like a bench player who just gives you that veteran will, as the sixth man at the end of his career, while Anthony and Shaden kind of carry you for the rest of for most of the season. I feel like that if he wins a championship here, it's not going to be in his prime. It's going to be when he's like the wily vet. He might go the full Udonis Haslem and just never retire.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. But, man, I appreciate the phone call. There's Ben in Portland excited about the Trailblazers. I'm glad that he mentioned every potential competitor in town, too. Mike Richmond.
Yes, I caught
Dan
that.
Marang.
I caught that.
Who else did he get in there?
Got it. Yeah, I don't know, but the point is here.
Brandon Sprague.
Yes. Now, but you see what you're doing is you're just doubling down on it. Chill.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to trade Sharp.
No, here's the deal.
They're high on it.
No, here's the deal. Ben made the mistake, and he said it as soon as he got on. He's like, "Oh, I see this a lot on the subreddit. Get off Reddit and stop listening to Blazer fans." ESPN did the world a great disservice when they created the trade machine decades ago, right? Because now everyone thinks they're a cap trade expert.
The trade machine made the world a worse place.
Oh, it absolutely did. Because here's the deal, Ben, and this is why you should sleep easy. Nobody in the know, as in nobody who covers the team, follows the team, and has any idea or any actual sources, no one is saying that Sharp is on the table or being traded. It's the subreddit and the Twitter and the fan trade ideas. Oh, maybe he could get this guy. It's just not how it works.
And the Windhorse report, like I believe that. Well, I know for a fact Windhorse has got good sourcing. But that Shaden Sharp name he threw out there in his report is that's not from specific inside knowledge within the Trailblazer organization.
No, not at all. And here's the thing. I've been doing this long enough. You've been doing it longer. You got guys like the Godfather. Names like that get thrown out for specific reasons, and that is to bang the drum a little bit and start rattling the cage to get things moving. It's not that it's going to happen. It's just, okay, A, I'm going to get some clicks off of it because we're in the internet age. But B, I'm just going to start throwing names out there, see what happens, because we need to start getting balls rolling. That's just how it is. But
yeah. So right now with the trade deadline, I believe 100% that Hart will be dealt. I believe that they are trying to move Nurk.
Yes.
But I don't expect a big deal to be pulled off.
Yeah.
So I think Hart's going to go. And then outside of that, if it's not Nurk, they've got no one else of who's substantial that they're going to look to move. It's either Nurk and Hart, or it's just Hart, and you can throw in some ancillary pieces. But Grant's going to be re-signed. Dame's not going anywhere. Ant's not going anywhere. And they're not going to move Sharp. The reason why it's ridiculous to move Sharp is, well, the only way you would move Sharp, or the only way I'd be open to it, is if you are getting a player back that you believe puts you over the top.
Yeah, you're only moving Sharp at this point. If you're getting a legit all-star type player, and that's what you need to, and then you have to cut bait to do it. But that's just not happening.
No, it's not happening.
It's not happening. Now, I know you're going to get ready, but I do got to play a clip before we go. Okay,
I want to hear it
because you got to shout out RC Showtime here in the YouTube chat. He requested this. I heard it as it was called too. Travis with another classic call. He just slips one in there. I want to know if you catch this.
Hart looks to the near side for Dave. Back to Ant. Ant for three. Buries it. 79-69. Timeout Wizards. Nice. The Blazers have pulled it within 10. And Anthony Simons, for the 6th time this season, has made 5 3-pointers in a quarter.
Did you catch it?
The 69 nice.
Nice.
Very good.
Nice.
Iron Eagle would approve. All right, that's going to do it for us.
Jeremy Grant hits the thruple.
That's the best call of the year so far. The thruple. All right, tomorrow, Chicago. Game day will start at 2:30, and the tip-off will be at 5 o'clock. Big thanks to everyone on the YouTube chat tonight. We appreciate the interaction. Thank you so much for that. And all the phone calls. Good phone calls tonight. Big win for the Blazers. That was a quality win with multiple guys stepping up. Turner Watt for 21 points, 5 assists, and Ant with that red-hot third, 20 of his 33 coming in the third. And the Blazers able to get it done by a final score of 124-116 at Capital One Center in D.C. For Chris Burkhardt, I'm Chad Doing. Have a good night, my friends. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Game day at 2:30, tip-off with the Bulls at 5 here on 620 Rip City Radio.
This is kind of funny. It's what happens when I forget to turn the mic off. Forget to turn the stream off, and you guys just watch Chad put his shirt on because I'm an idiot. But whatever. It happens. Everyone won. What a goofy night. Someone just said, we're having fun though. You guys are awesome. Shout out. We will see you again tomorrow. Bye for real this time.